Hello, I'm Matt Jablow. Today on the crime scene, she was widely described as popular, engaging, and remarkably talented. Bridget Phillips began a graduate program at Johns Hopkins University in the fall of 1988. 6 months later, she was beaten to death in her off-campus apartment. And 25 years after that, the case remains unsolved. A Kansas native who graduated from the University of Florida, Bridget Phillips enrolled at Johns Hopkins in 1988 to study medieval history. She hoped one day to get her doctorate, and she appeared to be well on her way after making the honor roll early on. She was said to be not just extremely smart, fluent in 6 languages, but a very hard worker known for putting in long hours at the Hopkins Library, which tragically would turn out to be the last place she would be seen alive. You see, on the night of March 22, 1989, sometime after leaving the library, Bridget was beaten to death just inside the front door of her North Calvert Street apartment, just a few blocks from Johns Hopkins. According to the police report, she was found fully clothed on her back and in a pool of blood. Police said there was no sign of a break-in, and Bridget had not been robbed. As a result, detectives believed that Bridget most likely knew her killer, and the investigation quickly focused on a few men who had either once dated Bridget or had wanted to. The problem is that even though they had several people of interest, detectives did not have a clear motive or a murder weapon or a strong witness. And sadly, 25 years later, it seems they still don't. With all that in mind, if you have any information that could help detectives solve Bridget Phillips' murder, you're asked to call the Baltimore City Homicide Squad at 410-396-2100. Or if you'd like to remain anonymous, contact Crime Stoppers at 1-866-7-LOCK-UP. Remember that cases much older and seemingly much colder than this one have been solved, often with help from the public. That's all for this edition of The Crime Scene. Next week, one of the highest profile murders in recent Baltimore history, this summer's shooting death of 3-year-old Mackenzie Elliott, a case that shocked the entire city and continues to frustrate police. That's next week on The Crime Scene. Until then, be sure to follow the very latest crime news on the Sun's Baltimore Crime Beat blog and on Twitter @Baltimore Sun. I'm Matt Jablow. Thanks for watching.